What's going on here? Burning the poor shacks, your Lord Captain. The rabble build them, cutting off the air supply to the next bay and making it difficult for the Inferni to work. We've told the serfs to get out of here time after time, but they won't listen. Captain Frenzo has ordered everything to be burned down and afterward this area to be sealed off. Alright, do your job. Your Lordship, spare a throne for those who can't even get a worst job. Shh. Literally, like, every option's bad.
Let us not dawdle.
Are crowding around a makeshift stage, watching a strange duo perform. A man with odd-looking goggles pushed up on his forehead, hands wrapped in worn leather gloves, plays a tune on a handmade flute. Next to him sits a stack of crates supporting some kind of game board. A scruffy rat is rolling small glass balls around the board. Let's watch. Several workers empty their pockets and start throwing ration cards, bolt nuts, and even a few power panels into the small chest next to the board. The flute player winks at the crowd and switches to a different tune. The rat squeaks excitedly and starts rolling the colorful balls the players have chosen around the maze of tunnels on the board, but not a single one reaches the goal, a hole marked with a red circle. The rat just rolls all the balls off the board or into dead ends. Once the first group of players get their hopes dashed and leave empty-handed, new workers immediately take their place. Listen to the tune. The rat's movements from the flicks of its tail to when and where it pushes the balls obey its master's wordless commands with uncanny precision. The notes, the pauses, the rhythm, every part of the melody serves as a signal to the flute player's tiny assistant. Ah, they're conning everybody. The rat scurries around the board, spurred on by the flute. Its movements appear erratic at first glance, but after a while, you notice how consistently the ball seems to miss the goal at the very last moment. Toss a coin. Then you start whispering prayers. The flute player's clear eyes widen in surprise. Then, with an open and friendly smile, he says, "Many a grand story of the Lord Captain's generosity is told, and I swear on my own flute today I will add another. To a fortune peddler, the Lord Captain's grace is a gift from fate itself. Perhaps you would like to trade us some of that Captain's fortune of yours, your Lordship." That's a curious looking flute. My mother loved music. She used to hum beautiful melodies to me, and when she passed away, I carved this flute from her hip bone and learned to play, out of sorrow and respect for her memory. It's his mom's hip. Okay. Play one of the local favorites. And brings the flute to his lips. A simple, brisk melody pours out of the instrument. The glum faces of the workers and trade-ins soften a little, and the tunnels around you seem less squalid than before. Long after the music has stopped, many continue to whistle the unassuming ditty. A flute needs no words to sing, but I am curious to know what story your melody tells. The story of a simple man from the lower decks, honest with himself and others. He risks his life to protect the oppressed from those corrupted by power. He takes from the rich and gives to the needy. He helps without asking anything in return. Nemesis, hero of tales, admired by children and grown folk alike. The people look at each other in shock upon hearing this unpalatable fact of life. Their joy evaporates, leaving only the bitterness of disappointment. I gained 28 experience. I think the song just died, but I won't despair. Life always suggests new melodies that people will like. We just destroy it. Who are you? I am but one of many. A voice in the crowd, a cog in the mechanism, his humble servant. Flute player is what they call me. Is all they call me, because that's what I am. I make up tunes and I give the people respite after a hard day's work. This flute player is not as simple as he pretends to be, Aubrey. I am most curious to know what he's really doing here. I will have him monitored. Yeah.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust. Keep your wits about you.
Uh-oh. How many times do I need to tell you ungrateful maggots? Mistakes must be paid for. Have mercy. Save your unworthy servant. Get lost. Ow. My sincerest apologies, your Lord Captain. Your boot, I'll clean it right away. A murmur of discontent breaks out among the gawkers who have gathered around. None of the other workers dare come closer, but the anger on their faces is plain to see. Let's listen. I work hard, never even take breaks or to rest, and all I earn is 7 ration cards with 15 mouths to feed back home. The enforcers shake me down every shift, just like they do every other honest hard worker who... Enough whining! You and your pals lifted up bunks of Nutribars a few watches ago, and 2 canisters of water before that. I didn't beat the life out of you because I took pity on you, and this is the thanks I get? You quarantined the hub for 20 watches and refused to give out rations if we didn't have cards. Cards we had no way to earn. And today you earned 15 cards in a single shift, because you do the work of 3 people, right? Or did you take your pals to a dark corner somewhere, do them in, and take their share? I do them in, it was an accident. The worker stops himself, cowers and whimpers. They got their heads bashed in by crates. The dead don't need rations. Had a note of sagely depth to your voice. Oh, this is a huge one, wow. Society, you see, is much like a boot. Its toe proudly directs the foot of the Imperium forward, and yet it needs a soul to stand on. You are the soul. Good people, that you are down here choking on dirt without ever seeing a sliver of light is not the result of someone's ill will, but rather it is the logical order of the world. I hope that understanding this fact will help you make peace with your destiny and free you of all spite. Wow! We appropriate nothing. We just monitor and redistribute. The rabble are a lying and thieving lot. We have instructions to stay alert for people holding more than the standard amount of ration cards to prevent supply embezzlement and famine. They do take our cards, your lordship, and then grow fat using them for themselves. Oh, awareness test. A sullen, red-bearded man with keen black eyes draws your attention. His oddly peering gaze seemed to size you up the whole time you were speaking, but now he has hastened to conceal himself behind the gawkers. The next thing you know, you are watching him hurry deeper into the tunnels. May the God Emperor protect you and all of House Valamvalance, yes, Lord Captain. There he goes. Damn.
Is there money to be made?
Okay. Oh, let's go see where this man went.
Just as he ordained. Stop! There!
I always have a backup plan.
The machine gun grants me insight.
Oh, a save. Several people are eagerly rummaging through a crack filled with weapons from the Enforcer's arsenal. A big man with a pockmarked face is the first to react to your presence. He attracts the other's attention with a piercing whistle and barks out, "Who are you? There's not supposed to be anyone in Ah, it doesn't matter. Identify yourself." Makeshift armor peeks out from beneath their ragged clothes, and their battered weapons display a patchwork of crude repairs. The group stares longingly at the rack where the gold plasteel gleams, restlessly clutching their humble weapons. You notice that the little finger on every person's right hand has been cut off. It is hardly a coincidence. Who am I does not matter. What are you doing here? The leader looks at your gear appraisingly and frowns. It matters. You better answer or this conversation won't last long at all. Oh, and she whispers. The excitement is interrupted by the leader. What are you gawping at? Hurry up and bend your backs as is right and proper. Your lordship, you must excuse these blockheads. I was taken aback myself. It's not every day you see the rogue trader in the flesh. And as for this, I won't insult you by denying it. You caught us red-handed. Tell me why I shouldn't execute you on the spot. You could execute us, but who would take our place? Shameless scum who rob and kill to their heart's content. Bastards who accept mutants into their gangs and prey to the archenemy. There have always been outlaws on this ship. You're better off with outlaws like us, who don't go too far and keep the heretics down. Well, who are you? The Hard Nines, a gang. I mean, a brotherhood from Transport Bay 9. Don't think we're parasites. We do our bit for the prosperity of the ship. We're sort of, assistants to the Enforcers. Self-appointed. We make sure that order is maintained in compartments where the Enforcers are too lazy or greedy for bribes. We put a stop to robbery and free thinking. And well, we accept a small contribution as a show of thanks. Why do you have your fingers cut off? It's our gang's initiation rite, a fine tradition. By voluntarily removing a finger, the newcomer shows their determination and willingness to join us forever. It's also a badge of honor. To do business. Ingratiatingly. We're no rebels. If anyone blasphemes against your lordship, we call the troublemakers to order, and we shed blood for the flagship without fear. I suppose that makes us defenders of the ship? I wish. Frenzo, the newly appointed captain, had our informant strung up. He's tightening the screws. Damn it, we can barely breathe. Today's the last time we'll come to pick over this compartment. Hear that, boys? The Lord Captain himself is expecting good things from us. We can't let him down. Get all the allies.
I always keep my options
Goods.
open.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
Oh, these damn beggars.
Let us not dawdle.
What's happening here? The kids have been waiting for you. How was your shift? We worked hard. I helped out a friend with the loading and he gave me some cards. Take them. Exchange them for new shoes. Yours are all worn out. These guys are beating each other over here in the corner. Oh, thank you. I've already made your bed for you. So once we've eaten, you go and rest. The little ones and I will head out to the marketplace and leave you in peace. Oh. Nice little family life. Why did the Emperor send me such a wonderful wife? Something's gonna happen. Boom. Oh. Oh. That looked disgusting. Get those goods.
I always have a backup plan.
Fortune smiles on us. An ill omen.
I'm getting ration cards. A group of beggars are rattling their arms and mugs, ostentatiously displaying their hunger-sunken bellies in various disfigurements. A toothless man falls to his knees before you. Your lordship, spare a throne for those who can't even get a first jobs. That's a stack of ration cards. There you go.
There.
Ow. Oh, clogged the tunnel so much for the house and the outskirts. They bred the void rats and now they're all over this level too.
always keep your eye on the prize.
Taught me many things.
I always keep my options open.
The food vat is protected from the vicious hungry crowd by equally vicious thugs wielding makeshift weapons. All the goods.
Oh, it's a peculiar thing.
I better myself through my service.
Stop being so bloody difficult. What's the thing the death cultists say? Your time has come, or what have you. Oh, they're getting to pushing it. No, please, what did I do? How about we take this stuff into the marketplace? We'll get to eat soup tonight.
Is there money to be made?
The inhabitants, they're covered in sores and bald patches glistening with pus and stench of unwashed blood. What you want? For the crime of wealth, that dead bastard had rations and fuel cells. We'll trade them for porridge. Mold eaters, outcasts, folks who have no place even among the lowest of the low. Some were born that way, some were driven out to keep them from spreading the contagion. The foreman won't let us near the vat. The enforcers try to shoot us on sight, as if it's our fault we were born in a terrible place. The outcast licks his lips, and you see a tongue studded with small, underdeveloped teeth. The more deviations from human form you detect. The perfect. Ooh.
You will beg for mercy, but I will grant none.
Alright, here we go. So you can use a special ability called Raining Blood. When used, it causes the target to its next melee attack to explode in a burst of blood, covering the floor and enemies behind the target. Well, it can also use a special throwable too. They're critical skill sword fighters who can devastate. Alright, let's see here. Captain audience. Means on all targets hit.
No.
Ah, okay.
I shall not let your soul be purged. As the
Ah. Wow.
Such is the will of chaos. Chaos guides me.
Oh, he kicked me. Ow. I saw you. Hmm? What? You're not distracting me, it's fine.
Faith without
That is,
deeds
yes.
is worthless.
Everyone, step aside.
Sweet.
For the throne's glory.
I am your doom.
Oh boy.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
On it. Your end was inevitable. Accept
Let's
your
try it.
lot.
I am your blade and shield.
Oh, damn spacebar. Hello. Yeah. Give you a little static shock.
I refuse. I won't compromise my principles. It's as good as done.
Request approved. My vow is to serve.
I'll make it happen.
Death is a blessing. Death comes in silence. The shadows will see it done. Caught by the wind. I would that I could. I bring ruin.
Death to the weak!
Scorn the pain.
Excuse me.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. I'll do it.
Oh, nice. Got one of them.
In thy light I stand, and thy light I crave. As the Emperor commands. That is not the Emperor's doubt is for the weak.
Oh, sorry. Okay. That's Overwatch, yes. The Overwatch Championship Series. So these are like some of the top teams. Yeah, they're really good.
I'll do it.
Give me a second.
But of course, Lord
Charge.
Captain. I won't object.
Your reckoning is due.
I will not die in dishonor.
High momentum.
That is foolishness. I have read tomes of military tactics.
As the Emperor... I'll do it.
Oh, this is far shooting.
I'll show you why navigators are feared.
A dance of blades and shadows.
That's what, yeah. Double kill. Yeah.
Who, if not me, never stood a chance?
Yeah. How about you show me what you're talking about? Sorry. Okay. Turn the TV on.
I always have a backup plan.
Okay. No, not yet. Because you're playing against other people. It's a very different game when you're playing against other people. Okay. Well, see, when I started playing the game online, I'd already played many other games online, and I was much older.
Keep your wits
Not like I
about you.
played it when I was a kid. When I was young, when I was your age, Jillian, online play was not even a thing. Wasn't even a concept. Couldn't even do it. Gotta find all the goods. Pasquale.
Messiah, grant me the wisdom to perceive. This explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
Like how you just didn't even need to.
Duty prevails.
I think she just leveled up.
The Emperor favors me today.
I will lead us to fortune.
Ow. You don't have a nosebleed anymore? Well, that's
I
good.
always keep my options open.
I have a suspicious rash that is now permanent. That sounds wonderful. I didn't do anything in here, so I don't know why I got it. Are you here to take Zedina to the other side? You're just wandering around in the dark, looking for the light, but it's nowhere to be found. Do you really not see it? Old Zedina, Zedina the outcast, Zedina the mad, Zedina the disaster, Zedina the curse, Zedina the spurned. Ghost of the past, the shadow of the present, only the undying one knows, he alone. Chains cling to announce Zedina's approach. For others to hear, they hide fearful of becoming like Zedina. You think you can do it? Alright. Pestilence, Zedina opens the wall, talks to their ghosts. Here, where Zedina lives. Yes, that sounds right. Talk to ghosts. It's not okay. Her colors are all mixed, smudged, poised to reveal a pure shade of madness, and yet scarlet threads separate those trembling patches, preventing her from losing herself. Alright.
Always keep your eye on the price.
Operation successful.
I think I just gained a level up. Or experience, not too sure. Oh god, okay. Now what else do I need to do? Stop by the residential units.
It's not dawdle.
Think? Show me where? Oh. Foreman. The day the Lord Captain wandered into our slum will be remembered in legends. The locals and enforcers call me the Foreman. I have no other name. You might say I'm in charge in this hole. Red beard and the keen black eyes. Ah, there's the man. What's life like? Toil in and day out for the glory of the ship. The rest of the time, they do their best to survive, faced with hunger and the more deranged of the enforcers. Void leprosy. Fires, flood, void leprosy. In a word, it's a decent enough life. If you work, you survive. If you freeload, you also survive. If you're clever, well, and if the God Emperor wills it. No, if you freeload, you also survive, if you're clever. Believe it or not, the soup is made from mold, slime, and technical drain water. Has been shimmering here in this vat for at least 200 years non-stop. See the growth on the walls over there? We harvest it, dry it, and use it to season the soup. If we're lucky, the smell attracts a void rat and someone gets to have meat in their bowl. It's for those who can't even earn a ration card. I feed them in exchange for services or favors. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. My people keep an eye out for workers trying to eat 2 bowls in one sitting. One is enough to fill your stomach for an entire watch. Some complain about the taste. Of course, ingrates. Give me some of the soup. I don't think that's a good idea. Mold slime is something of an acquired taste. It takes 2 years, maybe 3 for your stomach to get used to it. Pour me a bowl. Let's do it. Give me some of this soup. As you wish. Well, I certainly will be able to rid your body of the consequences of this decision. I cannot say the same for your mind. I am going to be sick. Substance analysis complete. The outlook is dim. It is recommended that you dispatch authorized units to locate an appropriate successor. A bubble rises out of the soup and bursts with a malodorous squelch. You can feel your noble insides protest against the crime you are intent on committing. It is still not too late to come to your senses. Ah, yes, carouse. Many fine delicacies have a foul smell and an unsightly appearance. Onward to culinary discoveries. Big ol' swig. Oh, hi, Mom. Oh. So it was Mom's fault. With the first spoonful comes the immediate urge to regurgitate the disgusting sludge. The heave is followed by dizziness, yet you stoically persist and force a slimy chunk of something indeterminate down your throat. The crowd is cocking at you wide-eyed. Glory to the Emperor! Your words echo in absolute silence, which lasts only a moment before the starving erupt into prayers to you and to him. The Lord Captain himself has tried our food and found it worthy. Remember to be grateful for any nourishment, as it is a blessing. Nice. Lord Captain, I beg another second of your attention. Please accept this humble gift from us, the common people of the Bay, for all the good you do us. The most precious thing we could get for your lordship. Oh. If the wearer did not move during their turn, or become immobilized, slowed, or stunned, or knocked prone, they gain. Ooh. That's pretty darn good. Let's look at that right now. Because no, I don't want to be Pascal.
I have a
I want to be
nose for
Aubrey.
profit and a taste for
What does he
adventure.
have on? 5 to persuasion. Wait, like that thing is pretty dang good. Oh wait, no, 2 doors. A +10 to commerce and lore. Yeah, no, switch it. Hey, whoa. What's going on? No, Jillian, what are you doing? Okay, Alice, she's just trying to get you to join the group again. Okay? So Alice, you gotta go back. You can't see the TV from over there. Ah, shush.
Is there money to be made?
Nice. I feel like I'm missing it here. Oh, that was the last thing. Oh, okay. Yeah, but first I also have to find...
I always have a backup plan.
The last thing I did was the burned guy. There we go. Yeah, this way. A sinewy middle-aged man watches the bustle of the bay with a detached expression. Every so often, whenever his eyes linger on the blood mark inscribed nearby, his face changes strangely and his hands clench into fists. Just as you begin to hear the rumble of an approaching train, the man's gaze turns towards the tracks. He leans forward. The man freezes a step away from oblivion, listens, then recoils, and goes still once more. What are you doing? What? I didn't. The man starts and almost falls, but manages to keep his balance. In the dim lumen light, you notice old scars scattered all across his body. The scars seem vaguely familiar. Pascal's Vox synthesizer springs to life with an indignant binary thrill. I am registering this unit's intention to use the train tracks for purposes other than those intended by their design. I categorically demand that the unit's self-disposal be carried out using methods that do not violate the catechism of maintenance and operation. Imperium. The scars all vary in length, width, depth, and shape. However, you notice a pattern in the way the scars are aligned, as well as a series of faded symbols on the man's rough skin. Death cultists bear similar marks on their bodies. But spinners are constantly renewing their wounds, while this man's look long since healed. What do you know about the symbol? It's a symbol of the blood-spun web. I come here every watch, but it hasn't been here before now. I guess today must be a special day. He smiles strangely. The man's faded eyes go wide as he notices Cabela. His voice quivers. You! Have you come to take me to the other side? Cabela briefly studies the man's face, then turns away. I do not know you. Death's gaze is not upon you. The man lets out a dull groan and looks at the symbol again. But then, why is it here? Are you a spinner? I was, but I failed to complete my final assignment, so I was exiled from the cult. The Vizier told me to kill the one who would be at a certain junction of the utility tunnels at a certain hour. I went to the appointed spot, then I waited. An hour, 2, 5. The junction was still empty. Nobody came. After hours of waiting, I finally realized. The person at the junction had been me the whole time. It was my turn to go to the Undying One, but I was afraid. I couldn't do my duty. I ran. There was no pursuit. I thought I'd see their black blades the very next day. Instead, years passed without them taking my heart. I tried starting a new life, but the terror never stopped eating away at me. When I got truly desperate, I went to the Temple of Death myself, but no one there would speak to me. When I gave them my name, they just whispered, Sebrid has gone to the Undying One. They looked through me like I wasn't even there. I've lived like this for 20 years. Ooh, like a coward. Oh, the last one. All right, here we go. The man looks at you, but some who would choose to leave the righteous path, these earned penance in due time. Her whip sings vengeance on renegade menace. Her blades pass sentence. For cowards seek to hide their hearts, but death makes no pretendance. Pretendance, is that a word? It takes what it is due in essence. He stops, then adds hoarsely. The third verse of the song of Trailing Blood, the Vizier recited it to me before sending me on my final assignment. I didn't realize at the time that it was my judgment. Another verse, another step along the trail of blood. The riddle is trivial. Your astounding intellect. It is time for death to take what it is due, and the Vizier is waiting expectantly for you to carry out the sentence he passed years ago. There were plenty of reasons. I sowed death. I offered him the souls of the most pleasing men and women I could find because it kindled my passions. I killed well-off crewmen who didn't deserve their wealth, and I took their thrones. I killed enforcers who looked into my eyes without fear, because I wanted to be feared. I reveled in bloodshed. I betrayed the tenants. I realized it, but I couldn't help it, because I enjoyed it. You do not sound particular. I've spent 20 years in remorse. I'm tired of it. Have you killed anyone else since you ran? No, I've been afraid to touch my knife since that day. Thought of it just stabbed me on its. No, thought it might just stab me on its own, but the temptation is always there. He leans over closer to the rails, accepting his fate with a smile on his face. The undying one is death. Kick him. Oh! Truly, it is better to die for him than to live for yourself. This he forgot. Okay. Got some loot over here we gotta get. I will leave no loot unturned.
Keep your wits about you.
Ah, there's probably a thing up there. Athletics, there it is.
Easily done.
Make the jump. Ooh. Then past the marketplace. Make sure the enforcers don't. Or you'll ruin the entire operation. On the trucks behind you'll find. Take it.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
What are we having for dinner?
That was a problem for you.
That's how it's done. Let us not dawdle.
Oh yeah, these controls. That's not the lever I want to touch. No? Okay. Done it. Is there another button I gotta push?
Is there money to be made?
Oh, yeah, we gotta go touch it. Really, Aubrey?
I always have a backup plan.
Alright, time to save. Hasty portrait of a worker with a red scarf over his face. The artwork still reeks of chemical pigment, judging by the layer of flaked off paint. Has been removed several times. What's that? A power pick. A power pick. It's kind of neat. Oh, who are you? No, shh, don't make noise. They shot everyone. Please don't tell them. Chop. Who? Okay, nice.
Keep your wits about you.
I have a rash.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
Okay. I think we're finally almost done in here. Here they come. How may I serve you? A vizier is gone and you notice he is wearing a bloody bandages under his uniform. You in a shootout? Yes, there's been a raid on a local gang. We finally cleared out the scoundrels who were smuggling goods to neighboring compartments. No one escaped. Okay. Came across a drawing of a red worker. It's a figure of local legend known as Nemesite, protector of the poor and oppressed. Ever since I was a child, desperate people have been drawing his portrait on the walls, hoping to summon in. a defender to punish those who wronged them. We've had 13 or so fools calling themselves Nemesis over the past 5 years. We disburdened ourselves of them, to be sure. The cultural heritage of this compartment is interesting. Not much can be expected from simple-minded serfs. That is correct. The enforcers do not bar them from carrying out their sacred duties, as irregular as it is to have armed crew members set up a secret hideout forbidden to the enforcers, and that they can go around dispensing bloody justice. Not much. I'm always trying to learn more, given that they like to pay visits to my compartment. The spinners honor the Emperor through death. They kill notorious reprobates and heretics. Sometimes they kill righteous folk, and other times they even seemingly at random. The rituals are morbid, and their prayers are strange. Anyone not initiated in their rites would struggle to make any sense of them. Well, that would suck. Could you imagine having to live in a place where, like, death cultists could just randomly come out and just maybe kill you? Appropriating ration cards from workers returning from the shifts. Why is that? The compartment has just enough food to avoid starvation, Lord Captain. This is why the enforcers are making sure that no serf has more cards than they're supposed to. They used to rip out people's tongues for it, but I reduced the punishment to simply beating the thieves and confiscating all their cards. The orders are to give these cards to workers who are starving due to a lack of work shifts. Not that it helps them much, but it's better than nothing. Are the enforcers guilty of misappropriating the confiscating items? Yes. Do those caught stealing receive severe punishment? Absolutely. And this hub connects the lower decks freight, residential, and artillery bays. Our task is to monitor the flow of the labor force and prevent supply disruptions. Most of the locals unload trains and sort provisions. We give maintenance jobs to more capable ones. The rest are reserve workforce. Whenever crew are lost on a deck, we find replacements from among those rats. And if extra hands are needed elsewhere, there are always more than enough volunteers eager to work for rations. Who maintains it? Traffic controllers. They're technomats trained by priests of the machine cult to keep the sacred cogitators working in order and prevent train collisions. The consequences of an accident like that would be easy to imagine, especially if the trains were carrying macro cannon ordnance. Aye, kabloom. Also employed here are an enforcer squad, a team of Inferni, the clerks who keep cargo records, and a Medicae officer, a fine chap whose medicine of choice is a bullet. Not every voyage ship can boast of its own railway. That is true. Usually higher class ships are the ones that get trains, but it's far from the greatest thing a rogue trader's warrant can see done. The credit here goes to Lady Theodora's predecessor, who in whose orders the Adeptus Mechanicus assisted in birthing this miracle of sacred engineering from the womb of the dynasty's flagship. Lord, the rabble are base in nature, and mutiny is always on their minds. Girls. Girls. They move from rations and tin food to weapons. We confiscate these regularly, of course, and keep the serfs meek and terrified. Human regulars build their shacks in front of service tunnel entrances. That has delayed the arrival of Infernus brigades during several emergencies and caused air and power supply problems in adjacent bays. We burn those saboteurs along with their shacks, but they just keep pressing on regardless. I've learned enough. I have finished inspecting the spec. Will there be any orders based on the inspection's conclusions? Smilins. The source of all this compartment's woes are hunger and poverty, which are driving those people to commit petty crimes. I'm sure you would have done something by now, but there are certain rules you have to follow that are simply too limiting. Is that right? Iconoclast. You decided the fate of the freight line of your void ship. Orders understood. Here, I'll just spell it for you. Oh. That one? There you go. No problem. Light and the void ability gated. The freight line. Oh. Who dared? You went to the pestilence pit? You into the pestilence pit? Pardon me, Lord Captain, I just can't even begin to find the words I would use if I had to tell the Master-at-Arms that you had perished in there. The enforcers do regular checks to see if there are any dangerous, blight-stricken rejects hidden at the bottom of the bay. I implore you, Lord Captain, leave this job to us. Lord Captain, your reporting has been carried out. The compartment is already operating according to the new procedure.